Now, to help us understand the concept of cashless policy is the financial expert, Segun Sopitan. Many thanks indeed for joining us tonight. Help us understand better the CBN cashless policy.
Okay, so I think the first thing we need to grasp, because I've heard a lot of talk around this policy, and I think there's a huge misconception as to what exactly it's about. First of all, it's all about getting our payment systems efficient. Now, what do I mean by that? You do business, you must exchange value in some way or the other. So you can either do that with cash, with a check, or in other parts of the world, the range of electronic transactions then begin to widen, right? So all of that put together is what you call the payment system. What the CBN is trying to do is to get that payment system to become efficient and as cheap to the economy as possible. And that's what it is. So people that say, oh, they're trying to charge us and all that, please, this is not a tax. It's the percentage charges are simply disincentives. They are negative incentives, if you like, to encourage people to abandon cash for electronic payments.
Does the policy have negatives? Can you walk us through some of these negatives or consequences of this policy?
Well, yeah, so of course everything has pros and cons. So for this one, I think the fundamental negative will be the fact that infrastructurally, Nigeria is still struggling, right? So you still find people doing transfers. Of course, we all use our ATM cards now. We all use POS, do POS payments and all of that. And you find that sometimes because of network failure or power failure or some sort of disruption along the chain of the transfer, that transactions don't succeed, don't complete. And when that happens, there's still a certain level of inefficiency also in our payment system that prevents customers from getting their money back immediately or getting value when they should. So for me, that's a bit of a downside, but it's not enough. It's a plus for me.
As a result of some of the doubts and worries by concerned Nigerians, some even think that we're not even realistic. But then again, is a cashless society possible?
No. So cashless is an expression, it's figurative. You will never, I mean, there is no economy anywhere in the world today that you will not spend cash in some form or the other. Maybe if you look 100 years into the future or 50 years in the future, we probably will get rid of cash completely. But for now, there is no cashless economy anywhere. But the point is you want to reduce the proportion of cash to your total payments and the proportion of cash to your total GDP. That's the objective. And why? The more electronic payments you can make, the quicker your transactions settle, and therefore the faster you have access to that same money to turn it around. There's something they call the velocity of money. So if your cash payments are generally slow to complete, and therefore it traps value within the chain, right? And then of course there's also the point that cash is expensive to manage. It's very expensive. If you just take a personal example, if I want to go to the bank to pay, let's say 200,000 naira, it's either I'm going to spend money on fuel for my car, I'm going to spend money on transportation for somebody I'm sending, or I'm going by myself. I'm going to lose man hours. If I get stuck in traffic, all of that is gone. So cash is cumbersome, it's inefficient, and it's just simply not the way to run an economy that wants to grow.
And do you think that this policy would actually favor small, medium businesses?
So there's an interesting statistic. 95% of major payments in the country today are above the threshold that CBN set, which is 500,000 naira for individuals or 3 million for companies. Majority of small businesses will not even be affected by this in any way, because most of them don't pay that amount of money on a daily basis.
Okay. Segun Sopitan, financial expert, would like to thank you indeed for your time and your thought.